Ava Monroe traveled to Grasse with a simple assignment: convince Celeste Virelle to sell her failing perfume company. Maison Virelle had once created fragrances for royalty and film stars. Now it was drowning in debt, and Ava's employer, Orion Luxury Group, wanted to acquire it before it collapsed. But Celeste's grandson, Lucien Virelle, refused to cooperate. "You don't create beautiful things," he told Ava. "You wait until desperate people can no longer protect them." "And you cannot save this company with pride," Ava replied. Before their argument could continue, Celeste entered carrying 2 perfume bottles. She asked them to identify the fragrance inside. Lucien recognized jasmine, cedar, and bergamot. Ava detected something beneath them. "Smoke," she said, "and rain on stone." Celeste smiled. "Your mother always noticed what others missed." Ava froze. Before she could ask how Celeste knew her mother, the older woman collapsed. Celeste died that night. The following morning, Ava attended the reading of her will beside Lucien. The solicitor announced that Maison Virelle had been placed under temporary joint control. Half belonged to Lucien. The other half belonged to Ava. Lucien stood in disbelief. "She is a stranger." "Apparently, your grandmother disagreed," the solicitor replied. They had 30 days to create and successfully launch one final perfume together. If they failed, Maison Virelle would automatically be sold to Orion. Celeste had also left them a recording. "Lucien knows how to preserve the past. Ava knows how to survive the future. Alone, each of you will destroy this house differently." Then Celeste revealed the reason Ava had been included. Ava's late mother, Ava Monroe, had once worked at Maison Virelle. She had helped create the company's most famous perfume, but her name had been erased from its history. Ava turned toward Lucien. His silence revealed that he already knew. Ava wanted answers. Lucien wanted her gone, but neither could save Maison Virelle alone. Every morning, they worked together inside Celeste's laboratory. Lucien created fragrances through instinct and memory. Ava studied customer behavior, market trends, and the emotions connected to scent. They disagreed about everything. He called her ideas commercial. She called his traditions expensive nostalgia. But slowly, their arguments changed. Lucien began leaving coffee beside Ava's notes. Ava learned he touched his grandfather's watch whenever he was nervous. One evening, Lucien asked her to close her eyes. He placed a fragrance strip beneath her nose. "What does it remind you of?" "An open window after a storm," Ava answered. "Someone returning home." When she opened her eyes, Lucien was watching her. "That is exactly what your mother said when she created the original version." Ava examined the handwritten notes beside the formula. She recognized the writing. Her mother had not merely assisted Maison Virelle. Elena had created the perfume that made the company famous. Before joining Orion, Ava had dreamed of becoming a perfumer. After her mother died, she submitted several formulas to an anonymous mentor who signed every letter with one initial, L. His advice had kept her creating when she was ready to quit. One night, Ava found an old envelope inside Lucien's desk. She recognized the handwriting immediately. URL. Lucien did not deny it. He had discovered her work through a perfumery competition. He knew she was Elena's daughter, but Celeste had forbidden him from contacting her openly. "Why did you stop writing?" Ava asked. "Because you joined Orion. I thought you had chosen the people trying to destroy us." Lucien admitted that he had followed her career from a distance. "I wondered how long you could build other people's futures before remembering your own." Ava should have been furious. Instead, she kissed him. Then, behind Lucien, she noticed a locked drawer. Inside was a contract bearing her mother's signature. The contract proved that Ava Monroe had owned 40% of Maison Virelle's most valuable perfume formula. But the agreement had never been officially registered. After Elena left France, Lucien's father released the fragrance under the Virelle name alone. Elena received no money and no recognition. "My mother died believing her work had failed," Ava said. Lucien did not defend his family. Instead, he gave her the original contract. "Take it to court. Claim everything you are owed. You could lose Maison Virelle." "Yes." "Why would you help me?" because loving what my family built does not require me to protect what they did wrong. Then Ava discovered several letters supposedly written by Elena, demanding ownership of the perfume. The most recent letter had been sent only 3 years earlier. But Elena had died 6 years ago. Someone had forged her signature. And the forged letter had come from Orion Luxury Group. Ava finally understood why Orion had chosen her for the acquisition. Her signature could help them bury her mother's claim forever. Ava called Marcus Hale, Orion's CEO, and demanded an explanation. He did not deny anything. Orion had purchased Elena's old debts after her death. Marcus believed that gave the company control over any intellectual property connected to her work. That is theft, Ava said. It is business, Marcus replied. He offered Ava promotion and enough money to leave Maison Virelle forever. When she refused, he reminded her that her name appeared on every acquisition report. If the truth became public, Orion would blame her for the entire strategy. Ava secretly recorded the conversation. But when she returned to the laboratory, Lucien was holding her original report. She had described Maison Virelle as outdated, inefficient, and emotionally overvalued. You were willing to destroy us before you knew the truth, he said. I was doing my job. So was everyone who erased your mother. Before Ava could respond, the laboratory alarm sounded. Their final perfume formula had been stolen. The thief had copied the formula and destroyed every sample. Only Ava, Lucien, and Orion's acquisition team knew the laboratory code. Lucien believed Ava had given Marcus access. You think I kissed you, and then stole our work? I think you have spent your life choosing survival. So have you? Yes, Lucien said. But I never pretended it was love. Ava left before he could see her cry. At her hotel, Marcus sent her a photograph of the stolen formula. Orion planned to release the fragrance under another brand before Maison Virelle's launch. If Orion succeeded, Lucien's perfume would appear to be the copy. Ava could still protect herself by signing the acquisition. Instead, she sent Marcus's recording, Elena's contract, and Orion's internal documents to an investigative journalist. Then she resigned. By morning, the scandal was spreading across Europe. But without a perfume to launch, Maison Virelle would still become Orion's property. Ava returned with one question. Did Celeste hide anything where no one else could find it? Lucien looked toward the greenhouse. Ava and Lucien found 2 perfume bottles hidden beneath a loose stone in Celeste's private greenhouse. One contained the unfinished fragrance. The other contained a letter. Celeste admitted that Lucien's father had once tried to restore Elena's ownership. But Celeste stopped him. She feared the scandal would destroy Maison Virelle and expose fraud involving Orion's former chairman. To save the company, Celeste had sacrificed Elena's name. The 30-day challenge was her final attempt to correct that decision. Ava and Lucien used the remaining sample to rebuild the stolen formula. They worked through the night, combining jasmine, bergamot, smoke, rain, and cedar. But the betrayal between them remained. Saving the company does not repair what happened, Lucien said. I know. Ava looked at the perfume they had created together. I spent my life believing survival meant making myself useful to powerful people. Now I know some things deserve protection, even when protecting them costs everything. At sunrise, they carried the final bottle toward the launch. Journalists, investors, and perfume buyers filled the Virelle gardens. Orion's lawyers arrived, claiming the company already belonged to them. Ava stepped onto the stage. She did not begin with the perfume. She began with Elena. Ava revealed her mother's original contract, Orion's forged documents, and the recording of Marcus threatening her. Then Lucien joined her. For decades, Maison Virelle sold a fragrance without naming one of its creators, he said. That ends today. Their new perfume was called Elena. It opened with citrus and jasmine. Beneath them came smoke, rain, and cedar. The scent of something damaged returning home. Orders arrived before the presentation ended, fulfilling the condition in Celeste's will and preventing Orion from acquiring the company. Authorities escorted Marcus away. But while everyone celebrated, Lucien disappeared. Ava found him alone in the laboratory. "We saved the company," she said. Lucien looked at her. "And tomorrow, when there is no deadline forcing you to stay?" Ava returned to London. Not because she wanted to leave Lucien, but because she refused to build another life from fear, guilt, or crisis. She opened an independent fragrance studio. Maison Virelle became her first client. For 3 months, Ava and Lucien spoke every evening. Sometimes they discussed formulas. Sometimes they argued about packaging. Sometimes neither admitted how much they missed each other. Then Ava received an unlabeled perfume bottle. The fragrance opened with bergamot and rain. At its heart was jasmine. Beneath it was the warm cedar scent of Lucien's laboratory. A note inside the box asked, "What does this remind you of?" Ava returned to Grasse the following morning. "An open window after a storm," she told Lucien. "And someone choosing to come home." 1 year later, Maison Virelle released its first collection under 2 names, Ava Monroe and Lucien Virelle. The past remained inside every bottle, but it no longer controlled what they created next. If you enjoyed Ava and Lucien's story, subscribe to Velvet Tales and leave a like so more people can discover our romance stories. Tell us in the comments, would you have trusted Lucien after discovering his family's secret? And if you would like to support the channel and help us create more stories, you can donate any amount through our Buy Me a Coffee page. The link is in the description.